Welcome, everyone. Ready for another deep dive. Today, we're going to unpack the story of Lily Bloom, a successful florist in Boston. But here's the thing. We're not just looking at her life through one lens.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah. We've got excerpts from this romance novel, It Ends With Us, and get this, some of Lily's teenage diary entries, all written to Ellen DeGeneres.
Whoa, hold on. Diary entries to Ellen DeGeneres. That's a unique combo.
It is, and that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating. We're going to figure out what makes Lily tick, her motivations, her relationships, and how she got to where she is now.
I'm in. So where do we start? With the novel?
Yeah, let's start there. The book opens with Lily on a rooftop in Boston. It's right after her father's funeral. She's trying to escape the crowd and all the grief, and she runs into Ryle Kincaid, a neurosurgeon.
Okay, so both are seeking a little escape.
Exactly. They start talking, and I love this part. They decide to play this game called Naked Truth.
Naked truth. Okay, I'm intrigued. What's that all about?
Basically, they just lay it all out there, raw honesty. And this becomes kind of symbolic of their whole relationship. Right from the start, Ryle reveals a lot about himself. Like he's totally against marriage, doesn't want kids, is super ambitious, and prefers one-night stands.
Wow, he's putting it all out there. It's almost like a warning sign.
Right, he's basically saying, this is me, take it or leave it.
So what does Lily do?
Well, she's drawn to him. I mean, he's confident, successful. Maybe it's a rebellion against everything she's known. Remember, she's grieving, questioning everything.
Makes sense. Big life changes can lead to some unexpected choices.
For sure. And before they part ways, Ryle does something interesting. He encourages Lily to go for her dream, to open that flower shop she's always wanted.
Oh, that's a little twist. The cynical guy planting a seed of hope.
It is, isn't it? And that seed, well, it seems to stay with Lily. Now, let's talk about those diary entries. I'll admit, at first I thought, diaries to Ellen, a bit much. But as I read them,
What did you find?
they're so revealing. You get to see who Lily really is at her core. It's like looking into her heart during her teenage years when she was trying to figure out life. You see her values, her dreams, everything.
A window into her younger self. I like it. And that's where we meet Atlas, right?
Yes, Alice is a homeless teenager that Lily befriends. But he's not your stereotypical portrayal. He's smart, uses big words, loves reading, and has this wisdom about him.
Oh, wow. He sounds like a fascinating character, almost like a mentor figure to Lily.
He is. He challenges her, shows her different ways of thinking, reminds her to look beyond appearances. And Lily, well, she's incredibly kind to him, offers him showers at her house, brings him food, even does his laundry.
That's amazing. She's so compassionate, nurturing. It shows a lot about who she is. And honestly, that caring nature, it kind of connects to her wanting to open a flower shop, don't you think?
Totally. Taking care of things, making them beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Lily, the big-hearted dreamer. We've got Ryle, the emotionally distant, successful neurosurgeon.
Two very different people, it seems. But I have a feeling their paths cross again.
You bet they do.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker. Ryle is Alyssa's brother.
No way. You're kidding. Alyssa, as in Lily's best friend and future business partner? What are the chances?
Talk about a small world.
Wow. Okay, so tell me more about Alyssa and Ryle. What's their sibling dynamic like?
Oh, it's complicated. At first, Alyssa hated Ryle. She was jealous of all the attention he got from girls, which is kind of ironic when you think about his personality now.
Right. Okay, I'm seeing a pattern here.
But eventually, they become close, even roommates. And there's this incident where Lily sprains her ankle right in the building that later becomes her shop. And guess who comes to the rescue?
It's got to be Ryle, right? Mr. Neurosurgeon himself.
Bingo. Their lives are constantly intertwining like some force is pushing them together.
It really is. Fate works in mysterious ways, huh? So tell me more about Ryle pursuing Lily. He said he wasn't into relationships, but...
Yeah, well, he doesn't let that stop him. He's calling constantly, showing up at her work. He even begs her to sleep with him.
Whoa. That's intense. I guess Lily really got under his skin, despite his best efforts. So how does Lily react to this?
Well, she's torn. She's attracted to him, obviously. But she's also hesitant. She's always believed in true love, the whole fairy tale thing.
So this casual fling thing, it's not really her style.
Not exactly. But there's a spark between them. After a lot of back and forth, she decides to, well, give in. They go back to his place, things are heating up, and then
What happens?
Ryle falls asleep.
Are you serious? He falls asleep.
I know, right? Poor Lily. It's a total blow to her ego. Makes her question everything.
But maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe it's the push she needs to focus on her own dreams.
And that's exactly what happens. She channels all that energy into opening her flower shop. And on opening day, guess who our first customer is?
Oh, come on, it's gotta be Ryle, right? Coming in with the grand romantic
You
gesture.
got it. And it works. Lily's swept off her feet. But their relationship, let me tell you, it's a roller coaster from that point on.
I can only imagine. Sounds like we've got a lot more to unpack. I can't wait to dive into the rest of this story. A roller coaster, huh? So where do we go from the grand opening first customer moment?
Well, their relationship has these amazing highs, like they elope to Vegas, get married on a whim, but then there are these terrible lows. Ryle gets crazy jealous at his sister's party just because Lily brought a date.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, it gets worse. He actually physically carries her off from the party.
Wait, he carried her off. That's not just jealousy, that's possessive, controlling. It seems like all that stuff he said at the beginning about not wanting commitment. Maybe it's more about him being afraid to let anyone in.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those fears come out in some pretty bad ways. The book reveals that Ryle has a real anger problem. There are two specific instances where he actually hurts Lily. It's really tough to read.
This is where you see that cycle of abuse happening. It often starts small, controlling behavior, emotional manipulation, but then it can escalate to violence. It's really important to recognize the signs.
Absolutely. And as if things couldn't get more complicated for Lily, guess who comes back into her life?
Oh, let me think. It's got to be Atlas, right?
You got it. And the timing couldn't be more, well, dramatic. They run into each other at Atlas's restaurant. Can you believe that?
Wow, what are the chances?
And Atlas, he's not oblivious. He saw Lily's injury, and he saw Ryle's bandaged hand from that night. He knows something isn't right.
That encounter must have been so intense for Lily. Seeing Atlas again, it's like a reminder of a different kind of love, The kind that's healthy, based on respect.
It's like a ghost from her past, showing up when she needs it most. And Atlas, he actually apologizes for something hurtful he said years ago and offers Lily his phone number, almost like a lifeline.
What does she do?
She rejects it.
Why? Is she still trying to make it work with Ryle?
I think it's a combination of things. She's still in love with Ryle, and leaving is scary, especially when abuse is involved. But there's probably fear about Atlas, too. What if he hurts her? What if it's too good to be true?
It's so complicated. Leaving an abusive relationship, it's never easy. There's so much to process, so much fear. But even though she doesn't take his number, Alice doesn't give up. He sends her this beautiful plant to her shop and even apologizes for comparing her to her mother.
Right, which was a really big deal for Lily. It shows that he's grown up and he really understands her. It's like he's saying, I'm here for you, but I'm not going to push.
I wonder if, reading those diary entries all addressed to Ellen, if Lily ever wished someone like Ellen would just come and rescue her. It shows how much we need connection, especially when we're struggling.
And speaking of struggles, things get even tougher for Lily when she finds out she's pregnant.
Oh, wow. That changes everything. Now it's not just about her anymore. It's about the future, about her child.
Exactly. And in this moment of vulnerability, she turns to her mom. And her mom, surprisingly, reveals that she's dating someone new.
Really, after all those years in an abusive relationship.
Yeah, it's almost like a sign for Lily, a reminder that it's never too late to find happiness, to break free. And that's what she does. She makes the incredibly difficult decision to file for divorce from Ryle. It's like she's choosing to end the cycle of abuse, not just for herself, but for her daughter, too.
Such a powerful moment. It takes so much strength to walk away, to put yourself and your child first, especially when you still have feelings for the other person.
It makes me think about Lily's conversations with Atlas when they were teenagers. Remember how he talked about people being like plants, needing the right kind of love to thrive?
Yeah, and how some love is like weeds choking the life out of you.
Right. And Lily remembers those words when she's thinking about her own life. It's like she finally realizes she deserves a love that helps her grow, not one that holds her back.
So powerful. Sometimes a message from years ago can suddenly become so clear.
So we see Lily taking control, making these tough choices. But what happens next? Does she reconnect with Atlas? Does she find the happiness she deserves? So the novel jumps ahead a few years, and we see Lily doing really well.
That's great to hear.
She's got a flower shop, she's a great mom, and she and Ryle are co-parenting their daughter, Riley.
That's amazing after everything she went through.
It really is. But life is full of surprises. One day, Lily's rushing to pick up Riley from daycare, and guess who she bumps into?
Oh, come on. It's Atlas, right? It has to be.
It is, and it's like that spark from all those years ago. It's still there.
But I bet she's hesitant. I mean, who wouldn't be after everything she's been through?
Absolutely. She's cautious, and she needs to be for her daughter's sake, too. But Atlas isn't that lost teenager anymore, either.
Oh, right. What's he up to now?
He's a successful chef. He owns this amazing restaurant. It's actually the same one Lily and Ryle went to earlier in the story.
You're kidding? Bibbs, the one where he pretended to have a girlfriend.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Looking back, it's obvious he was trying to protect Lily.
Oh, wow, yeah.
He knew about Ryle, saw what was happening, and didn't want to make things worse for her.
It really shows you how much he cared for her, even back then.
Even after all those years. So Lily and Atlas, they start to reconnect. And you can see those little things they had in common when they were younger. That love of books, their sense of humor, that deep connection.
That soulmate kind of thing, huh? It's so rare.
Lily's still scared to jump into a relationship, but there's this pull between them that she can't deny.
I can only imagine.
And the book ends with them at Riley's birthday party, just sharing this look like there's a possibility of a future together.
Oh, that's nice. It's hopeful.
It is. It's open-ended, you know? So you can imagine what happens next. Do they give it a shot? Do they build a life together? It's really up to the reader to decide.
That's what I love about good stories. They make you think even after they're over.
So what do we take away from Lily's story? I think it's a reminder that even when things are really hard, there's always hope for healing, for second chances, for love.
And that we all have the strength to break free from things that hurt us and build a life that's truly our own.
It also shows us that even fictional stories can teach us so much about life.
They can make us feel everything and really make us think about our own choices.
And maybe, just maybe, Lily's story will inspire someone listening to write their own letter to Ellen, sharing their own story of resilience and hope.
What a beautiful thought. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into Lily Bloom's world. It's a story about love, loss, the ups and downs of life, and the amazing strength of the human spirit.
It's a story that stays with you. And until next time, may we all find the courage to bloom, even when things are tough.